What's going on, family? Welcome back to the Cinema Goodness Podcast. I'm Kahim. It's JP. What's going on, JP?
Nothing much, man. I am good. How about you?
Doing good, man. My twins fighting, bro, but we're gonna be all right.
They're gonna be hugging and laughing in just a few minutes. It's okay.
Yep. So, family, just a disclaimer: if you actually hear bumping and stuff in the background, those are my twins, and they're part of the show tonight. Yeah, man.
You the referee, right?
Yeah.
Dad is a referee.
Yeah. For sure. Tonight, man, we got a couple deaths from Westeros. We got some trailers we looking at, and we got a movie that cost Matt Damon 20 pounds and a piece of his sanity. The focus tonight, family, is talking about coming home. Who makes it back? Who doesn't recognize what's waiting? And what happens when the person who left isn't the person who returned? We got a knight who spent years marching towards redemption and met a muddy field instead. We got a queen discovering a throne she bled for isn't the home she thought it would be. 3,000 years ago, a man crossed a wide dark sea just to find the home had moved on without him. We got three completely different stories we're looking at. One question: can you really ever go home? And what's waiting on you when you get there? Let's get into the cinema goodness, family. Family, this is Kahim.
And I'm JP.
And this is the Cinema Goodness Podcast, where we talk movies, all things related to Hollywood,
including your favorite genres and upcoming projects. Join us here for an unbiased and unfiltered discussion from our unique perspective.
So sit back, relax, grab some popcorn. Let's get into the Cinema Goodness. Yes, sir. Welcome back to the Cinema Goodness Podcast, man. I'm excited, man. We got some good topics tonight. But before we get into House of the Dragon and Odyssey, we're gonna take a look at this trailer. It looks pretty good, man. Starring our boy Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen this one.
It's called Thomas Crown Affair.
This is a remake, isn't
I believe so.
It's a remake.
I've been taking risks my entire life. But last night, it was different. I felt alive. My heart was racing. Every step was part of a plan. Things slowed down. It was silent. And I was surprised how easy it was. But I'm not finished yet. That's what excites me. Move, everyone, move! I just had to come over and introduce myself. Thomas Crown.
I know exactly who you are.
If you don't jump, can't catch me.
All right, man. I could be in his bag, man. Could be in his bag. I'm getting a 007 vibe. I never read the books or know about the old version of Thomas Crown. But it looks good, man. I like Michael B, man. Things gonna be good.
I need to see a little bit more.
Yeah.
Before I can make a judgment. I'm not gonna say that I'm excited because I'm feeling some different inspirations from it.
Yeah.
From other movies. So I want to see another trailer.
Yeah.
Because it looks like it's got action, but it didn't feel like it was action in that trailer. Did it to you?
More suspense and maybe a twist or two in there.
Okay.
You know, that's the type of vibe I'm getting. Like a 007, like, you know how you watching something, then you think it's gonna turn out one way, but then there's a nice little twist at the end. So that's the type of vibe. Espionage,
like a thriller almost.
Yeah, espionage type of deal.
Yeah, I'm with it.
It's I think it's something new for Michael B. I think he's trying to add a little sex appeal with double agent type of vibe, you know. So.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's gonna be good. All right, man. Before we get into the conversation, let's talk to our community.
All right.
This comes from Dennis Wacheria, I think 3681. Kevin already broke the news about Blade. There won't be a Blade movie, officially canceled. Yeah, that's the rumor, man. That's what they saying. I'm kind of bitter about that. I know we need a Blade movie, bro. What you think about the whole Blade thing, JP?
So let me say this. Not surprised that it's being canceled. Anytime a movie is delayed like this, no real progress on production, those are really big red flags. I was excited, I still am excited about Mahershala Ali playing Blade. I think that he can bring a lot to the role. So I don't have a problem with that, although some people in the fandom do. It's just unfortunate. I don't think that they ever really got the right writing and producing in place to really make it something that people want to see. And that's the most unfortunate part, because it's a great character. This character helped save the MCU, before there was an MCU. So I definitely want to see it get done. And I'm hoping they can keep Mahershala Ali in the fold, or at least cast somebody as good as him on the acting side.
Yeah, I think a lot of people like to gloss over the fact that Blade was one of those characters that saved the MCU. A lot of people like to attribute that to Iron Man and what Robert Downey Jr. did, and nobody's taking anything away from him in that film. But Blade was the first movie on screen when you seen that Marvel pop up. You're like, oh, Marvel make movies, and it kind of got you in it. So put some respect on that man's name, and we need a Blade movie, man. Y'all need to figure that out. It's only right.
And we could not have gotten to Iron Man and RDJ being that iconic character without Blade bringing the money in to keep the doors open.
For sure, man. For sure. All right, man.
Did you have any thoughts on the casting though?
Of Blade? So I don't know what the story would be.
Okay.
But I love Mahershala Ali.
Okay.
The Whistler, I think they had somebody for the Whistler. I think that's his name, the Whistler. See, they had a cast that they put out before, but I don't know how true it was.
And with it being so delayed, I'm sure some of those people fell out anyway. Because if they had other, productions they were working on, who knows if they were still attached to the project,
Right.
I thought Mahershala could have done a great job.
Yeah, I think so.
You're right though. It's dependent upon what is the story going to be. Story still has to be good, even with a great actor.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I can't find it, but I don't have a dream list for that movie. I just want it to be good. I feel like the trilogy that they did kind of locked the story in. So I feel like I understand why it's so hard, because they will have to go deep into the comics and find original Blade story that actually makes sense. But I know they could do it.
Oh yeah.
I know they could do it. All right, y'all. Let's move on to House of the Dragon, season 3, episode 6, Faceless Men. So one thing that stands out to me about this, man, is our boy Criston Cole. Before I know you're probably gonna do like a little wrap up, but I was saying I don't see him making it to the end of the season. You know, he was like he won't even make it past like the last couple episodes, and I was like, damn, it's only a few. Like when he gonna die? The very next episode, my guy.
Within like 2 minutes.
That's when he gonna die. That's when he checking up out of here, bro. And I was like, oh man, because the previous episode he was talking about basically like going down in the blaze of glory. Like that's how he saw it, his death, and it wasn't like that at all, man. It was like melodrama. It was just like, damn, I'm about to die. Like, oh man, it was crazy. It was crazy.
You know what though? This is what he gets for being a duplicitous snake. And then being on his high horse of self-righteousness about it afterward. Like, he wasn't, just as compromised as anybody else involved in this whole crappy situation. He wanted that blaze of glory, and he was unceremoniously denied. That was he wasn't going to get that. I'm so glad that the Winter Wolves and
it was the Butcher's Ball ambush.
This is the Butcher's Ball, and I forget the other guy. He's the River Lord, leader of the River Lords. I forget his name. He's young. They were like, no, we're not going to give you what you want. This man has literally been moping around for like 2 episodes because after he saw how Dragonfire impacts, the battle, he's been like philosophical, and he's been on this path to death, ever since then. So he's thinking, oh, they're gonna write songs about me. Oh, I'm the realm's greatest warrior.
Yeah.
He
Took
was
him
just
out.
a little too high. What's so funny is he was so prepared for it. He pulled out Alicent's rag and put it around the hilt of his sword. He's like, I'll challenge you 2-1. He wanted to go out in a blaze of glory. Let me tell you, that woman from the bushes. So this, and I just thought about this. We were just about to come on. He died and didn't know who killed him.
No.
Because Alicent Blackwood from the bushes shot this man, gave him a good old 3-piece, one straight to the face, and ended the story of Criston Cole. And it couldn't be any other way. This is how it had to end.
Yeah. I was thinking that he was going to go down in a big fight, man. I did. This is the way they set up his character, but I understand why. Like, with all he did, he didn't deserve to go out in a blaze of glory. He deserved to go out in the mud and, detach from everything and, just like a regular common person. And it was rough seeing him like that, just because I was invested in his story, and I thought he would make a turn and have that moment of nobility come back to him, but no, not really. Criston Cole spent years believing glory would redeem him. Instead, the road home ended in a muddy field. No heroic duel, No triumphant speech. Just him and his consequences. So yeah, this is this right here. Yeah, that right there. Ooh-wee. The Butcher's Bar ambush. Cole marches the Green Remnant into a trap in the Riverlands and gets shot down before the grand duel he spent his whole series expecting. Book readers are furious that the show cut his iconic final line out. TV critics are calling the abrupt, unheroic exit the entry point. It's the moment the movie villain gets a big last stand, but he didn't get that. So he got an anticlimactic death.
Now, let me say this. I hear what the book readers are saying, and everything from the book cannot be in the show. It is impossible, okay? What I will say is this. The episode is not perfect. I feel like that they're trying to combine some things, and it may have been a misstep to leave out that line there right at the end. But I think they did give us enough with the, letting us know that, hey, we're not, essentially they're saying, we're going to thwart your plans of going out in a blaze of glory. And I think that brought it to us enough with how this ended for him. The one thing that I will say that I don't like, they showed Alicent Blackwood before. If you remember, it's been maybe 2 or 3 episodes ago when they were in, Damon was there and they were celebrating, like in the forest. They had tents. You remember that episode?
Yeah.
Okay. She was there then, and they have not taken enough steps to introduce her to the audience. And so I'm not against going in and researching, but she's actually a more pivotal character in the story. And so I figured that, before we get to this point, they're going to use her to be the person to kill Criston Cole, who's done so much dastardly stuff. We should know her name. And honestly, If I hadn't looked it up myself, I would venture to bet that most people did not even know this lady's name that killed Criston Cole. Now, I think that's part of their plan. But again, I disagree with it. The episode is called Faceless Men. So I think this is part of that. And maybe this is what they were trying to show, is that, Criston Cole ended up being killed by someone he didn't even know who shot him. And then it's someone who the show has taken almost no effort to tell us who they are, who killed him. So I guess that's maybe the point. But I feel like, I don't know. I think if you want people to care about a character, you've got to introduce them to the character. Yeah. And so it takes something away from me. I love that Criston Cole died. Please don't get me wrong. He's been on my last nerve. Right. But we should have known this. We should have known more about this lady that killed him. And then, I don't know if they'll follow the story, but she has, a part to play later on with the Starks. So who knows? I don't know. I think you lose something when someone so pivotal, you don't even know their name. So how can you care about who they are?
Right. Yeah, I understand exactly what you're saying. I think the impact really came from the fact that Criston Cole died, and like you said, a lot of people wanted him dead or dealt with, and the fact that happened, I guess the writers felt like
it was enough.
That was enough. Yeah, that was enough. But we are gonna want to know more about her, and
Black Alley.
Why was specifically her? They could have made it a random person, but because of who she is, I guess they're gonna leave that in some way. Yeah, bro. Criston Cole, man. R.I.P. R.I.P. Criston Cole.
I'm not gonna do like some of these preachers do, Criston Cole, and try to put you into heaven now that you're dead. All I will say is good riddance.
Yeah, man. Spent the entire series believing history will remember him as a legendary knight. Instead, history barely pauses. That's a tragedy, man. Roll on past.
Now let me ask you about this. What did you think about the butcher's ball, the trap that they set?
Thought it was brilliant. It got me because when they first got there and they actually was dealing with that small group of people, I was like, man, they tried to take them out, man. And then more people started to come over the hills and stuff. I said, oh damn, he dead. That's when I knew they about to kill this man. I was like, oh, that's cold. That was a brilliant ass setup that they had going on, man.
My question is, how did they pick who was going to be the
At
bait?
the bottom.
That was essentially, you're going to be cannon fodder. You're going to go down there, lay down, be defenseless, act like you already dead, and then you're probably going to get killed. I don't know. They must have drawn straws or something like that. Who knows?
Thing I love about those type of films, man, is the setup. Like, because you always wonder how they're going to turn it or attack in certain ways. And you in this big field, you in this big muddy field, there's nothing really you can do to hide. But they always find a way to make something out of nothing. And that's the creativity in it all.
Absolutely.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good to see you again.
Yes. All right. Rhaenyra's grip is slipping. Gold cloaks getting killed in the streets. Daemon's heavy-handed city watch tactics start backfiring. Man, so the gold cloaks are dead, man. They had the feast for traders and all of that stuff. So Daemon wants to find out who's responsible. Who in the city is killing my men? But not before all the gold cloaks put their capes down and say, we're not dealing with this no more, bro. I'm just like, and one thing after another, man. It's all falling apart. It is all falling apart.
Oh, yes. And that man said, it's one thing that I'm going to be loyal to the gold cloaks. It's another thing that I'm going to be broke and my kids going to be hungry while I'm doing it. This man said, no, you can't, we can't have two struggles going on at the same time. Either we going to get paid and do this job, or I'm giving up this job so I can go work somewhere else and feed my kids. And hey, I don't blame him.
The whole thing with the gold cloaks is the nobility of it all. So, I mean, you got nobility, but you can't put food on the table for your family. It's like, I'd rather just throw the nobility away and go.
Thank you. And what's the difference of them and somebody in Flea Bottom? They both starving.
Yeah, man. It's sad, man. Yeah, it's all falling apart, man. Armor High Tower was wrecking shop from Tumbleton, bro. And so Rhaenyra, she gets this idea that she gonna try to put a hit out on Ormond. The hit falls apart.
You know what though? If it wasn't for Gawain, who Ormond gave such a hard time in the last episode, if it wasn't for him, it would have worked.
Yeah,
it would have worked. And here's the brilliance of it, because they had that little bit of information about how susceptible Ormond was. This first of all, this scene was hilarious because we know how sensitive Ormond is to bad smells, and they literally come there covered in crap, like animal feces, stank, dirt. They look and smell horrible, but they knew that, so that threw Ormond completely. I mean, he had to back away to the back of the room. But even then, he wasn't thinking, why is it, he was so eager to have one of the high houses to come to, his side, that his strategy and his, his spidey senses didn't kick in.
Went all the way out the window, yep.
And I mean, if Gawain had not been there, they would have killed him. And probably Darren too. Yeah.
Rhaenyra had a good plan until it keeps backfiring on her, man. All of this stuff that she tries to do ends up backfiring out on her, and it's just rough to watch, man. Because you root for her You want her to win after all she's been through, but at the same time, it's like, do you not really? Because she should have talked to Damon. Damon would have told her it was a bad idea and all of this stuff, or he would have made sure it went the right way. And that's my frustration with Rhaenyra and Damon. Like, she has somebody that's real strategic, really smart, but she still tries to keep him at bay at most times in the story.
And why is that?
I don't understand. I'm still trying to figure that out. I don't know why she loves him. She wants him around. She wants him to do the work, but for some reason she just doesn't listen to him. I don't know why. I can't get it around my head.
Here's my perspective on it. It's her insecurity. Her insecurity is preventing her from any possibility of looking weak. So instead of her accepting his intelligence and his skill in strategy and battle and his cunning, she's intimidated by him. She's scared that he's gonna make her look weak because he looks strong. But strong people are not intimidated by other strong people.
Right.
So if I'm secure in myself and my position, then I can accept your help. Even if you're strong, you come strong. I understand that if I'm strong, I want strong people around me. I don't want weak people around me.
Right.
So she's constantly obsessed with every time he, interjects with a good idea, she's squashing it down because she's so scared that he's going to leave her or make her look weak. But all of that is something that's going on inside of her. It's her issue. It is not him. Now, yes, he's brash. Yes, he jumps in and interjects. That does not mean that he is trying to take over or become king and depose you. But her head is so screwed up with that she cannot govern because she's so worried about how she looks. Her insecurity is literally ruining her ability to actually lead. And unfortunately, she's proven the Hightower's right now.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm looking for some.
Okay, and I see we got a comment. It says she wants to be beloved by the very same people who are currently against her. Exactly.
Yeah.
Let me also add, delusional about her father. She keeps bringing her father up. Viserys was not a bad man, but Viserys was not a strong ruler. If he had been, Rhaenyra would not be in the position that she's in right now. His inability to solidify her claim and his unwillingness to do so is really the cause of everything these are the repercussions of Viserys's weakness. Even though he was a peacetime ruler, he was still a weak ruler.
Yeah, times are changing.
She brings up his name. Oh yeah.
Times are changing, man. I'm just saying she thinks she can rule the same way. We talked about this before. The fact that she's a woman automatically throws that out the window. She's automatically gonna have to show more force, more attitude, but she has to do it in a smart way.
And let me say this because I'm gonna kind of bring it to real life for just a moment. I don't think she has to show more force. I think that she has to be realistic about what is necessary. So I don't think that she needs to overcompensate or compensate for being a woman. And I think people feel the same way. Like, people say America is not ready for a female president. And I think that most people are probably not ready for it because of all of these internalized things they think that about women versus men. But I don't think that the female leader has to necessarily overcompensate. I think that she can make those same decisions, those same decrees as a man would make. And if you can just take away all of this internal strife that she has so that she can be clear-headed about making the decision, she'd be a great ruler. She's not being honest with herself, though. I'll tell you one thing, especially in Rhaenyra's position, Alicent told her, when you get in that seat, you're going to have to make decisions that you think you would not make. But that's a reality. When you lead, you're going to have tough decisions. You can't keep punting and thinking that it's going to be okay. Right now, that is all Rhaenyra is doing, is punting. They aren't addressing anything. Nothing is getting addressed. They're punting it, and every time you kick it down the road, it's getting worse and worse and worse.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. So we got we had a bomb dropped on us last episode, and I like their relationship, man. See, at first I thought, like you said, that they had a relationship. At first I thought that Aemon was so driven by power that he was just gonna get up and leave Harrenhal and go back home and try to get the throne back. But just like you said, they got a little thing going on, him and Mrs. Jones, and he ain't going nowhere, man. She said exactly what she needed to keep him there. And the thing was, she found 5 dragon eggs.
Oh yeah.
So at first I thought it was like a vision. Do you think it's a vision? Like, you think she making him see that it's not really there, or you think those 5 dragon eggs really there?
You know what? That is actually a great question. I think that they could be real. But if I know anything about Alys Rivers is definitely a witch. Mm-hmm. And I think some of the scenes that we're seeing from Harrenhal, they are hiding a little bit of what's going on from us as the audience. I think it will eventually be revealed, but I'm thinking that maybe there's some magic going on that she's doing to him. Maybe it's possible that he died and she brought him back. Maybe just like when Daemon was there, she's turning him every which way but loose with her own magic, and he's seeing all of these things and they're not real. I don't know. I think we're in the dark. And I love that, actually. I think it will be a great reveal. Whichever it is, I don't know if she brought him back from death with blood magic. I don't know if these are all visions or if the eggs are real, because he even said they were warm. I don't know, but I like where this is going. And let me tell you something. Aemon he has been, his whole life kind of dogged out by everybody. He loses his eye. And then when he is able to claim Vhagar, that becomes his whole personality. And I feel like it makes a great opening for someone to come in and actually manipulate him, because she's pushing every single button on this man. She's taking care of him, so she's hitting the mom, because he got a mommy fetish. We know that. So she's hitting the mommy fetish. Then she knows he's craving and he wants power. So she's like, you can have a new line of unbroken kings. Here's some dragon eggs that your kings will be, your princess will be able to have. She's working him. That's what I'm gonna say. She's working this man real good. She's even convinced him that Vhagar flying away is to protect you, because people know if they think that you're with Vhagar, wherever they see Vhagar, they're going to be looking for you. So maybe she went away because, she's trying to protect you. This woman got this man wrapped around her finger. I'll say that.
Yeah, for sure, man.
She wrapped around something, but he's putty in her hands. I'll put it like that. She's working him real good.
Yeah, man. So,
they probably got Harrenhal shaking over there. Let me stop.
So we got a highlight of the episode that we want to address real quick. First black love scene.
Did this feel like it came out of nowhere to you?
It did, but it didn't. Like, they both are the black people in the
in the show,
in the show. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the comments. But yeah, I think because they are really the only people there who gets it, what it feels like to kind of be like outside children, and I just feel like they got a kinship. They understand each other. So, and I think that's
her uncle.
Yeah, I know that, but that's all right. They already built the culture, man. They built the culture already. You know what you're getting into. So at this point, you just gotta accept what it is. You know what I'm saying?
But here's where I understand. I think that's probably the best pairing. But y'all just gonna throw Adam of Hull away? This man was cheesing. I mean, he was trying to get her a meal. He's trying to, he had $40 for her a couple of episodes ago. And now, all of a sudden, she over here with his brother. This is going to be a point of contention. I don't know how it's going to come out.
You think
so?
But
let me tell you, the other brother has a dragon and this one don't.
Man, listen. He's around. The brother isn't around, bro. And
they were on patrol. They were pulling 24-hour shifts just 2 episodes ago. This man was trying to get her a meal, trying to get her McDonald's. Have it your way.
He could have just been looking out for her, just one family member to another. He probably wasn't trying to get the draws. Yeah, he was. I know he was probably trying to get it in, but
But I think you are making a good point. And I'm going to come back to it because it's funny, but I think the point you're making is that she's connecting with the shared trauma they have.
Yeah.
And although Corliss abandoned both Adam and Alan because he was right there with Alan, it kind of stings more.
Yeah.
Because Adam wasn't right there on ships with his dad. He knew his dad. He knew who his dad was. But he wasn't right there with him. And I think with Bela being right there and her father, literally, Damon, ignoring her. I mean, the man don't talk to her.
Right.
It's a lot of people who, especially those who haven't read the books, who just watching the show, had forgotten that Bela was even Damon's son. With his first wife, the Elena, who was killed, in Dragonfire. Yeah. So I think that's where the connection came in. And definitely GTD. If you watch Martin, you know what that means. So most definitely, I think that's where their connection, it's a trauma bond because they both have terrible, terrible fathers who, have abandoned them while right in their faces.
Right.
So I think that's the connection. But I just feel like Adam was really pushing in the previous episodes, and she kind of kicked him to the curb. She wouldn't even eat. She wouldn't even stop. He was trying to get her to stop. She wouldn't stop. So I guess that was her way of saying no to Adam of Hull. We'll see. What I don't want to see is no triangles. Keep the triangles and all of the geometry away from this show, please. Don't do that, House of the Dragon. Please don't.
Especially with the black folk, man, because they're the only ones. They don't need no triangle.
Please don't do that.
It's enough of that going around.
They're already her uncles.
Yeah. All right, man. So Alicent gets forced into an ultimatum. She has to go to Harrenhal, and go kill her son to protect Helena, who is pregnant and possibly has an heir in her belly. We don't know for sure, but if it's a boy or a girl, but if it's a boy, it's gonna be trouble. So Alicent fears that when the baby becomes of age and it's a threat to the throne, Rhaenyra is gonna kill the baby. So Alicent wants to protect Helena. Rhaenyra says, if you want to protect her, I understand. I'm down. I appreciate you wanting to protect her, but you got to go to Harrenhal and kill your son. But not kill him yourself, but aid in the killing of your son. And I'm like, is she gonna do it?
It's not gonna work. She don't realize that the man is there with a witch that can see the future. And so she don't really realize, as much as they believe in prophecies and stuff on this show, she don't realize with Alys Rivers being there, that's gonna thwart her plan completely. First of all, Alys Rivers has her plan of her own that she does not want to be disturbed, because she already knows working him for the meantime.
Yeah.
Not for no long time. So, I mean, I think that she's a little naive on thinking that this is going to work.
Feel like he's going to kill his mama. If Alicent died by his hands, that's going to be a nice little twist. But, because I've been waiting for Rhaenyra to do something to Alicent. Because I'm like, bro, like, y'all going back and forth, man. You can't trust this girl in your own house. She keep trying to leave, keep trying to escape. Like, that should let you know if there's any indication you can't trust her, this would be it.
And the way she flipped the switch to try to turn Massaria, that tells you that Alicent is still a snake. And just like she got up in Viserys' bed at her daddy's direction, she can't be trusted. This is another blind spot for Rhaenyra, big time.
Yeah, man. That childhood friend stuff, it messes with you. Here's the thing about this episode. Daemon can't go back. Alicent can't go back. Amy can't go back. Everyone is trying to return to something that's already gone. Sometimes the longest journey isn't across Westeros, it's realizing the person you used to be no longer exists. That's a shame, man. Let's look at what's coming up on House of Dragon, man.
Oh, one more thing before we go to the preview. We got to talk about this. This is in my notes, and I didn't know we were moving. We got to talk about Hugh Hammer and his wife.
Okay.
We got to talk about this, okay?
Hugh was trying hard to get to his wife. She was trying so hard. He did all of this stuff. He got some nobility. He got title. He got a dragon. And after all of that, she get there. He gets there, sees her, and she's like, I never wanted it.
Exactly. You know, this is crazy. Let me say this, because I don't want to minimize what she went through.
Yeah.
She went through hell, and the show has talked about how dangerous it is for a woman to be on the road on her own. So, you know, she was assaulted and went through all of this trauma. And I don't want to minimize that. But this response, I think, for most people were like, oh my gosh, she's turning all of this power down. And I think maybe she's just so traumatized that she doesn't really know how to deal with it. And I feel like she felt betrayed by her husband because he wasn't there to protect her from all this crap that happened to her. I think that's a valid point. But what I will also say is she could have made the decision to go with her husband as well. Instead of staying behind, you know what he's trying to do. She could have gone to Dragonstone. She could have been there. There's an area where there's small folk on Dragonstone, although they don't show it that much. And so I think her making this decision to stay behind alone was a part of this. So it's like a compounding problem. There's no way for him to have known that stuff would happen to her. And when things got bad in King's Landing, she decides to go out on the road on her own. And then that, makes her susceptible to all of this danger and stuff happening to her. So I feel like she's kind of stuck in her world because she didn't know what was going on with her husband. She didn't know he had a dragon. She didn't know none of it. Yeah. But when she finds it out, it's like she can't even process it.
Yeah. That's sad, man. The fact that he didn't really know what she was going through, because he would have been made it over there. You know what I'm saying? If he knew, because he had this dragon for a minute now. But I guess he thought he was doing the right thing by setting her up and making all of these moves, but he wasn't available. He wasn't there, and because of that, she suffered a lot of stuff. Do you think they could get back from this, or you think it's over?
Well, I don't know. She might need, because this is all, it happened really quickly. She didn't even know what had happened to him. So I think if she has some time to process, she might come around to it. Who knows? I don't know if the show is going to take her in a different direction. But here's what I do know. This is a blinking red light problem for Rhaenyra. Because if you remember when they went to this scene, you hear Ormond in the background talking. Ormond is talking about how the man that you have to worry about the most is the one that clawed his way up to power.
Right.
And while he's saying that, you see Hugh Hammer on the screen. Before we move, forward in the story. That is important because this man has a dragon now. He's going to be asked, once Rhaenyra gets her back fully against the wall, she's going to be asking him to do some stuff that he's going to disagree with. Yeah. So these are the seeds of potential mutiny because of all of this stuff that's happened with this family. And he's guarding Tumbleton. His wife is there. So this is a red blinking light problem for Team Black. Because add to this what Ulf was talking about. Although Ulf is the most punchable person on the show, right next to Slewfoot Larys, him actually saying, I've gained all of this, but it's like I have less now. Yeah. That's dangerous. Because when he was just a drunk buffoon in the saloon, it didn't matter. Right. He rides a dragon.
He still feels like
and he's disgruntled on a dragon. It's a blinking red light problem. Like, what's going on with these two characters is going to be a huge problem because they have been empowered with like what we would consider a nuclear bomb in comparison to their time. They've got a weapon of mass destruction, but they don't have loyalty. Right. And it's going to be a problem. Yeah. One last thing before we hit the promo, that update for next episode. Corlys the sea snake.
Oh, there's so much that happened in this episode. Yeah,
this episode had a lot in it. Let me tell you, they will not kill Corlys the sea snake off screen. So I do not believe he is dead. Yeah. But he is definitely going to be used as a pawn against Rhaenyra. The deck is stacked and it ain't looking good. Yeah.
And it's all against her at this point.
Exactly.
Because you're not on. Because that's what I'm saying. Sending Alicent to Aemon was probably one of the worst decisions she's made, bro. I don't know why it felt like it was a good one for her, but you sending the mom to the son who's been watching, like she's been watching everything that you did, all the mistakes you've made, like, and you sending her to somebody that can really thwart everything that she's doing. Like, I don't know why she would do that. It's so crazy.
You asked me a few episodes back, was the omen that we saw, was it a sign that everything was going to go bad for Rhaenyra? The episodes since then have proved it's only gotten worse. And yes, you are surely right. The comment says here, I feel like she will eventually ask them to burn Tumbleton. There goes the wife. Yeah. Exactly. But is Hugh the Hammer going to burn his wife, even if she's mad as hell with him?
Nah, I don't know. He gonna try to save her one last time. And she like, I don't want you. She gonna give him one of those. Going back to your dragon. All of that shit. All of that. Man, he's being controlled by. Okay,
that's
talking
about Alys Rivers controlling Aemon, right? she's got some powers in there.
All right, man. Let's take a look at this.
Preview for next episode. We only got 2 episodes left, folks. It's got to be good.
It's going fast, man. It's going fast.
A new dawn is coming. A new line of unsullied kings.
My queen, we've seen something strange.
Mother.
There's a fog that surrounds her. She has come to do you some evil.
I have a piece on the board now that will bring the Savage Queen to her knees.
You may refuse me as your sister, but I may compel you as your queen. Now tell me what you know.
I want to know what Sheep Stealer got to do with it.
That's what I was saying, man. Sheep Stealer gonna come in wreaking havoc. I feel like during this time, Rhaena is kind of training Sheep Stealer. Like she's getting his bearings. She's learning how to control him. They've been together a lot, so
She's very connected to him. The way she talked to Damon about it, she was like, "He is me, and I is him."
Yeah, she gonna get it right, and I feel like this is gonna be kind of her redemption moment to come in and kind of do some right in the midst of the wrong that she did. But Rhaenyra was gonna find out that Sheep Stealer is still alive, and Rhaena is flying him, and that's gonna cause problems with her and Damon because Damon lied and said that he already killed the writer.
And you said it. That lie has an expiration date, and it's coming due soon.
All right. So now, what's your prediction for next episode? Who do you think is going to die?
I don't know who's going to die, but there's definitely going to be some deaths in these last 2. I'm worried about Corlys. Potentially Alicent. Who knows? Ooh. I don't know. I think those are probably the 2 main ones that I could see. I don't see Rhaenyra or Daemon dying in the 7th episode. I think that there's potential in maybe the final episode of the season. I don't know, but yeah, I would say those 2 are the most in danger, and probably Corlys more than anyone.
Corlys passed, I'm gonna be upset.
Me too. As much as a terrible father as he has been to his sons, I still like the character. And man, that comment when Alan was like, Rhaenyra needs more men to replace the Gold Cloaks, and Corlys gets angry. You take her side, even though she wouldn't legitimize you.
How long it took
this man, Alan, stood 10 toes down, 2 feet, and said to his daddy, "It took you my whole lifetime to recognize me. So, what are you talking about?" In if I could translate the Westerosi into English, he said, "Nigga, what?" You've been acting like I don't exist my whole life.
Audacity, bro.
Right?
Hi, man. This Sunday, episode 7, House of Dragon on HBO Max, man. It's tightening up, man. We lost a few people. We're gonna lose a few more. That's what it is, man. All right, fam. Let us know what you're watching, man. We about to get.
Still got to talk about the Odyssey.
Yeah, man, for sure. Before we get into that, let's hear from our sponsor.
All right.
Hey, real quick, shout out to our people over at DNA Casual Apparel, because y'all know I don't play about a good tee. These aren't just blanks with a logo slapped on. DNA Casual does custom tees that actually mean something. Whether you want something laid back for the everyday, or something that reps who you are, where you're from, what you stand for. They print for organizations, families, businesses, churches, reunion tees, company gear, church apparel, branded merch, all of it. And that's what I love about it. It's not just a shirt, it's your identity, your culture, your people, stitched right into the design. So if you've got a story worth wearing, go check out DNA Casual Apparel. Tell them Cinema Goodness sent you.
Appreciate our sponsor, DNA Casual Apparel. Look at that hat, man. It's clean, man. Very nice, very nice, very nice. Appreciate y'all, man. All right, let's get into our last segment of the night. We talking about Christopher Nolan's Odyssey. 172 minutes, though. It's wow.
It was definitely a long movie. Jumping into the synopsis, The Odyssey is a 2026 epic action fantasy film written and directed by Christopher Nolan, who produced it with his wife Emma Thomas, an adaptation of Homer's ancient Greek epic poem, The Odyssey. It stars an ensemble cast including Matt Damon, Tom Holland, Anne Hathaway, Robert Pattinson, Lupita Nyong'o, Samantha Morton, Zendaya, Charlize Theron. In the film, Odysseus, played by Matt Damon, the Greek king of Ithaca, undergoes a long and perilous journey home after the Trojan War and encounters mythical beings as he attempts to reunite with his wife, Penelope, played by Anne Hathaway.
Good read. The film was 172 minutes long. It was, but the pacing wasn't bad. I like the cast that they had. They had a nice cast, and everybody seemed really invested in the story. Matt Damon did a hell of a job. Tom Holland did a hell of a job. Charlize Theron was a nice surprise. I didn't know that she was in it until I saw it.
Me neither.
Yeah, Anne Hathaway did a great job. So Zendaya did great. Everybody did a really good job on this film, man. I really wasn't too familiar with the Odyssey. I do like some Greek stories. Troy being one of my favorite. But this was kind of right in line with that. They had some controversy that, some people wasn't too thrilled about some of the casting choices. But for the most part, I think everybody did a great job. What was your immediate thoughts about it?
The movie was good. I'm gonna say this. It didn't blow me away completely, but it was good. I think that trying to pack in everything from the Odyssey into this movie is what made it a longer film. I have to say this right off the bat. I enjoyed it. Like you said, Matt Damon did a great job. But did I leave the movie smiling ear to ear and on 10? I didn't. I felt like it was just good. And will it most definitely win Oscars? Yes. I think it was written for that. But I think sometimes movies that are written to win Oscars can get boring sometimes too, because it's kind of obvious that that's what they were gearing it towards. So, and hey, you can boo, hiss, throw tomatoes. That's okay. I just feel like it was good. It was a very good movie. It wasn't great. And not because the actors, I just felt like it just, maybe the source material, right? Because I remember reading the Odyssey in high school. Maybe it just didn't hit it for me. I don't know. it's something about it that just it didn't never get to the great. It got to very good, but not to great for me.
Yeah, I think when you have a film that's so dense like that, you get more focused on watching the movie rather than experiencing the movie. And what I mean by that is like you're really trying to sit there and take in all of this information and not really delving really into the story and seeing what it's really about, because it's like all of this stuff that's going on. He made like 3 or 4 different stops to different places in this time span between the invasion of Troy, them winning in Troy, and them leaving from Troy. So there's a lot that's happening in that time. And then while he's on his voyage back home, stuff is going on back home. So you have to try to let all of that go about the fact that they're out to sea and all of that, and then try to reframe your mind and focus on what's going on at home. And it's almost 3 hours of that. If I'm making sense, it just feels like it's a lot. It's dense, and you trying to really watch it and take it all in. And because of that, you kind of lose some of the thrill, because you're like, man, what did they say back on Hades? Like, who was going to die? All 6 men. Like, so it's like a lot of information, and you're watching it. And I think that's kind of where some of the thrill leaves, if I'm making sense.
You're making perfect sense. Let me tell you, one of the thoughts that I had during the movie was half of this movie is them coming ashore and then getting chased away, because it happens over and over and over and over. I mean, They go ashore trying to find some food, water, whatever, and then calamity happens and they're being chased away. And that repeats itself multiple times throughout the movie. Maybe the redundancy of that, it is part of the story, so I get it. But at the same time, maybe they could have truncated some of those things or presented them in a more creative way so that it didn't feel like it was kind of droning on. So maybe that's part of it for me. One thing that I wish that when they landed on the island of the giants, not the Cyclops, the giants, maybe understanding a little bit more about them would have made more sense, because they were almost like Terminators. That's kind of how they ended up being portrayed, because there was nothing anyone could do to them. They could not fight them. Then, like, the forest was changing. Like, I don't know if you noticed, but the trees were moving.
Yeah, it was moving like shields.
There's not even a single word of dialogue to address it. Yeah. So I feel like that is a loss for me, because if you're gonna I understand seeing it, but you're telling me that not one person will even say, "Are the trees moving?"
Right.
I mean, I don't know. That was that they lost me a little bit there.
Yeah, a lot of it was like inferred, like you really had to just come up with in your own mind about why things were the way they were. You know what I'm saying? Like you had to come up with your own assumption about why that is. And because of that, it just felt like he was working harder to watch the movie and, like I said, get all of this information. But for the most part, it was an entertaining film. The pacing wasn't bad at all. A lot that happened, it could have felt a lot longer than it did, but because of the way it was shot and the fact that they traveled to different places and dealing with all of these different circumstances, it kind of pushed the story along. Yeah, it was a few missed opportunities to introduce the nuances to the new viewers. Yeah, for sure.
I agree with that, most definitely.
So Christopher Nolan, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Christopher Nolan didn't make a movie about a war. He made a movie about what war does to people after they survive. The Odyssey isn't just about getting home. It's about whether home still exists once you've made it there. And if you're the same person.
They're, definitely not the same person. I agree with that wholeheartedly. the way it brought at the end, the way they essentially, Odysseus is grappling with his own actions, how far they let it go. It's one thing to have a victory. It's another thing to be cruel and allow your men to rape and pillage. He saw that, and he saw how far it went. He saw how far they were willing to go, literally drowning some of his own men inside of the Trojan horse.
Right.
And it's almost like he's regretting how much he's dehumanized those people and lost himself in the process. And so I think that's what he's grappling with, because they've done some terrible things to the point where all of the rumors about the people that come from the sea, and I started after they had been run from so many places and people kept talking about people coming from the sea. I said, they have to be talking about them, because they are always coming from the sea. They are always causing a problem. They're always jumping up into somebody else's business while they're there, that nobody asked them to be in. And they always bring weapons with them as they do so.
Yeah, man. I would feel that that Trojan horse aspect was handled very well in this film, because when you see it, usually it's just the horse being brought into the place, you know, and people celebrating and all of that stuff. But in this one, they actually had kind of behind the scenes aspect, like you mentioned, the people drowning in the horse. Like, that's something that we didn't usually see.
Never seen that before.
You know what I'm saying? It's just, it's a nice little aspect that they threw in, because it lets you know about the sacrifices that was made throughout, just to get to the victory. And I thought that was a nice little touch.
They made that very realistic, all the way down to the slaves, putting all those smooth logs on the ground and rolling the Trojan horse across them to advance it. That part was really well done, because a lot of times you get movie magic, and they don't explain anything, just to kind of, bring that point out. This episode of House of the Dragon we just watched, they did it because the same guy that was involved with saving Prince Darren and Ormond from the assassins, he was in the room with them, and all of a sudden he's movie magic teleported to the Riverlands, somewhere Corlys is, to be able to, with 20 men or however many men he had, to kidnap Corlys. Right. And I'm like, how did he do that? They movie magicked him. And so most of the adaptations of this, they always movie magic it. They never show you the reality of it. It makes me think about some of those same techniques being used to build some of these great architectural feats that people think aliens made today, because they just don't think that humans were smart enough. I don't know why. Yeah. They made that realistic, and I appreciated that aspect.
Yeah, man. Nice. So when people hear the Odyssey, they usually think about the monsters. You got Cyclops, giants, sirens, gods. But the writing isn't just an action movie. Every stop on the journey is a temptation. It dealt with comfort, pride, revenge, forgetting who you are. Sometimes the real enemy isn't the voyage, it's losing yourself before you reach your destination. And one of my favorite scenes of the film is when the witch turned the men to pigs.
That was crazy.
That was crazy, man. What'd you think about that? What'd you think about that setup?
Clay. That scene was insane, because it started off so innocent. They're just eating. They are hungry, and they want something to eat. But then you start noticing, like, they're just like engorging, like whatever they can get down their throats. It becomes disgusting. And then she starts molding them and moving their face and pulling their skin back. That was crazy. That's probably of all of the scrapes that they got into, that one was the worst one for me.
Yeah, man. The Cyclops was pretty crazy too. Like I was eating them. Like they had some tough times, man. They did. They had some tough times. What was your favorite scene? Do you have a favorite scene?
Ooh, I love Odysseus's fighting scene at the end.
Yeah,
I love that. That him coming in was a great moment.
Ooh.
Finally, he was back home.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
I would say that pig scene, and once after they reached Hades, and they was telling him, Agamemnon was telling Odysseus that some of his men was going to die and all of that stuff, and they went on a ship, and as they had the whirlpool on one side, and they would end up going through that channel, and whatever that was, ended up snatching their ass up out of that ship. I was like, oh man. So those are my two favorites.
Let me tell you, they were doomed when, I guess, they were doomed when he made the decision not to follow Agamemnon. When he was like, I followed Agamemnon long enough. Let me go my own way. Being contrary.
Right. They had real ships, no green screen. 91 days shoot across 6 countries is insane.
Yeah.
Does CGI make us forget what scale actually looks like on screen? Does the audience feel different when it's CGI versus when it's just regular film? I think the fact that they didn't do it on a green screen added a little bit more realism to it. I just worry about them long shoots like that, like 91 days, anything can happen. So I know like the precautions made for that type of stuff, it's like over the moon. They dotting every I, crossing every T, and making sure everything is safe, because anything can happen on the water. I don't know how far they went out or like what that production process was looking like, but it was handled very well. It looks really good.
I love the practical effects. I'm not against CGI because I know it has its place and there's some things that you just can't do without it. But when you add a mixture of CGI and practical, to me that's chef's kiss. Being able to actually do those stunts and it feel real. I think even the actors treat it more real. So I think it's important to how you actually experience the film when it has that realism to it. So I say, more practical effects. That's one of the reasons I like Project Hail Mary so much, because they actually use puppeteer, in a suit, which helped to make it feel more real instead of just purely CGI.
I agree with you.
It makes it harder. You got to have you got to have more experts and bigger cast and more money, but it makes the end result better.
How'd you feel about Robert Pattinson in this film?
Hated him. Very punchable. Such a wimp. During that fight, I was so mad. He's sending everybody but himself to fight.
Yeah. Grab the spear.
Not like
grab the sword.
He's directing other people to get implements to fight instead of him fighting. He's a weasel.
Everybody remembers the Cyclops. Everybody remembers the Sirens. Everybody talks about the monsters. But the real monster in this film is time. Time took 20 years away from Odysseus. Took his son. Took his marriage. Time took the version of himself that left Troy. By the time he gets home, he may have won some things, except the life he was trying to get back. And on that note, what would you rate this film?
I'm gonna give it an 8.
I'm at an 8.5. I was at 8.5.
Yeah. Let me ask you this: do you think that Odysseus deserved, and his men deserve what they got?
Yes. Because they went off to war. They invaded somebody else's land, right? They won, but the road back home, they wasn't meant to return. Odysseus was, of course, but all them other men, and the fact that when they got to that, I forgot what land they called it, maybe God's land or something like that, and they wasn't supposed to eat the cattle, and they did. Like, you just kept disobeying at every turn, bro. First of all, the witch let you go just like off of GP because of who Odysseus was. But then you going to defy the wrath of the gods again and disobey. Like, yeah, you deserve all of that, bro.
And to add on top of that, they didn't show restraint.
Yeah.
So the thing, when you get to the end and Odysseus is recounting, I'm saying recounts, that's the wrong word. He's essentially reliving what they did in Troy. You don't see them just killing soldiers. They were killing regular people. They were pulling regular civilians out of their houses and murdering them. Children, pulling them out of their houses, murdering them. So I think they set their course by how they approached Troy. And they could have very well gotten Helen back and not killed all those civilians.
Right.
Just fought the war, and once they beat the military, be done. But they took it so much further than they had to take it, and I feel like that is what sealed their fate. The rest of it was just, adding more to it, more fuel to the fire.
Yeah. I agree. I'm with you on that. Does every great hero eventually lose something they can never get back? That's a question for y'all to take home tonight, family.
Absolutely.
All right. Let's get it. Cinema Goodness Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah.
Who's your MVP?
MVP. Ooh. MVP has to be... I wanted to say Odysseus, but at the same time... I want to say Odysseus for right now. I may change it, but as far as I can think right now, it's Odysseus.
Yeah, man, I'm with you. I got Odysseus. Man. Most iconic moment. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you get some.
We almost done. All right.
Make sure you get some sweet rest.
Yeah. Most iconic moment. Ooh. It's got to be that fight scene where Odysseus reveals who he is, and as they're fighting, people are realizing this is Odysseus, and they start kneeling.
Yeah.
And that was a great scene, the way they did that, because it was like, okay, people are realizing there's no way I'm going to beat Odysseus. I don't care how many of us it is, and they started kneeling in honor of Odysseus. So I thought that was really, really cool.
I would agree, but I also got that siren scene where they wrapped.
They tied him to the mast.
Yeah, they tied him to the mast, and he was just like screaming and stuff. The guy took the wax out his ear and jumped off just because he wanted to be with the sirens, bro. I said, man, be careful with that, bro. Emotional sucker punch.
You go first on this one.
I'm I'm feeling bad for Helena, man. Helena, like
Okay.
she's just so naive and all of that stuff. Now she's hurting herself, man. You can see her pricking her hands and
That's
stuff.
true.
Yeah, she's going down bad, man. So I'm feeling for her.
Okay. I'm gonna say this is something we didn't talk about, but it was revealed in this episode that Darren also hates Ormond as much as we all hate him.
Yeah.
So that was an emotional sucker punch because we realized and we have fully confirmed now that this young man is being abused by this guy. Because all the stuff he has him doing, he hates what he's doing and how he has him acting and the way he's controlling his whole life. So that was that, revealing that, knowing now that Darren hates Ormond as much as we do as the audience, man, that sucks.
Yeah. Because you thought he was on his side until Uncle came back, and then we got the real story.
Exactly.
All right, and my favorite.
Most punchable.
Most punchable.
I gave my answer earlier. Off the white.
Okay.
Punch him in the face and punch him again.
Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. I don't like him either. I would say Robert Pattinson is my second option. And
1A, 1B.
Yeah.
They're right there together.
Yeah, man, for sure. All right, family. So tonight we talked about Journeys Home. A knight spent his whole life chasing legendary ending, but got a muddy field instead. A queen discovering that the throne she bled for isn't the home she thought she was fighting for. And a man who crossed a wide dark sea for 10 years only to find out the hardest part wasn't the journey, it was figuring out who's waiting when he finally made it home. Here's what all three are teaching us. Home isn't a place to get back to. It's a version of yourself you're hoping is still there when you show up. Most times it isn't. And the whole story is what happens in between. The question isn't whether you make it home. The question is who's going to be standing there when you do.
That's cinema goodness.
All right, family, thanks for watching, man. If you want us to watch anything, check out or critique any type of film, show, or animation, please let us know. Anything else, JP?
Go see the Spider-Man movie this weekend. We're going to be talking about it next week.
Please go watch it, man, so y'all can engage with us, because I know it's going to be crazy.
Be ready.
Yeah,
but nothing else. I'm good. Thank y'all for watching and subscribing, share, and like our videos. And we're going to keep producing content for y'all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You have a light that is out of this world. Let it shine to be the richness that this world deserves. Much love, family. Being rich.
Peace.